I promised it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies, Zanies, so here are my top 10 things I hate about Emergency Response Liberty County. Make sure you're subscribed because I'm certain this video is going to cause ripples in the water. Let's begin this video with a quick message before people get upset, feelings get hurt, and my account gets suspended. I sincerely appreciate all the hard work that the developers and their teams put into making games like Emergency Response Liberty County possible. It's not easy, and I certainly wouldn't be able to do it. I also want to make it clear that when I say hate, I don't actually hate anything. This video is really just a list of things that I haven't gotten used to, I'm not a fan of, or things that I struggle with. With that said, the 10th thing I hate about Emergency Response Liberty County is the rate at which vehicles need to be refueled. Has anyone ever noticed that when you first log in and spawn a vehicle, there's a very high probability you're gonna need gas? Maybe not right away always, but definitely shortly after. I know I have, so what's up with that? I could have sworn I did not need gas the last time I played, and now suddenly I do? Not to mention that vehicles don't go very far with the gas that you do get. I went around the map once in my Lamborghini, and by the time I was back at the starting point, I had already gone through 1/8 of a tank. I did this with several different vehicles and achieved the same result. Which leads me to conclude that fuel is not contingent on which type of vehicle you drive. Speaking of gas, the 9th thing I hate about ERLC is the new gas pumping system. Yes, I know I'm just being a little girl about this, and yes, I know that the new system is way more realistic than the last one ever was, but listen, I miss the days of being able to simply pull up, click, and keep going. That used to make my quick getaways so much easier. The 8th thing I hate about ERLC is the amount of SUVs and trucks in the game, along with the limited car selection. I've said this before, but the game is lacking some quality mid-range coupes and sedans. Other games have a menu of cars to choose from. Whether it's standard, mid-level, or luxury cars, the selection on ERLC is lacking. Another thing I don't like about Emergency Response Liberty County is how the housing works. Although I love the fact that you can go into homes, I don't like the fact that your time is limited. In other words, I don't like the fact that you can only rent and not actually buy the homes. I should also mention that it's incredibly expensive to rent a home at this rate. Not every player will ever be able to afford to rent a home. My suggestion would be to reduce the price of rent and introduce the option to buy a home at a higher price, even if that price is several thousands of dollars. The 6th thing I hate about ERLC is the limited number of buildings you can enter and interact with. The job locations, gas stations, and jail are really the only buildings that can be entered and explored, and even at that, they're not that big. I recently played Renault, and of course you've all seen me play Greenville. The buildings in those two games are extensive and they are well built for players to explore. How awesome would it be to really have to look for a criminal or have SWAT swarm a 2-story office building? That would be freaking cool if you ask me. The 5th thing I don't like about ERLC is the gun system. Yes, I'll also admit that the old gun system was super unrealistic, but the new gun system is super stiff, the recoil on all of the guns is overboard exaggerated, and using your gun unfairly locks your player into one view unless you're doing first-person style shooting. I'm not a fan of this, and I do hope to see some more improvements in the future. Continuing with my list, am I the only player that actually enjoys playing ERLC when it's daytime in the game? It appears there's an imbalance of night and daytime in the game. I feel like the amount of time spent in darkness is significantly longer than the amount of daytime. I know it's pretty cool to do some robberies at night, and I also appreciate the emergency lighting system much more during the nighttime, but it just feels like we spend so much more time playing in darkness than we do during the day. Has anyone else noticed this? Let me know in the comments below. The 3rd thing I hate about Emergency Response Liberty County is the small map. Although Liberty County just got a huge facelift a few months ago, when you compare it to other rival or similar games, the map is still only a fraction of the size. You can circle the entire map in approximately 90 seconds, unless if you take shortcuts or don't follow the exact outermost roads of the map. This means that as a criminal, the the chances of you getting caught, cornered, or cut off are very, very high. In fact, there's several times when I've played as a police officer and instead of giving chase, I've simply waited for the criminal to come back around the map seconds later. I understand that there's a handful of places to hide, but the chances of somebody stopping when they think they're being chased are slim to none, which means that you both can be going in circles around the map over and over and over again. The second thing I hate about ERLC is the astronomical price of everything, and often it's not even the price of things, but more about the limited amount of money a player makes in the game. And you know what? Let's just jump into the number one thing I hate about Emergency Response Liberty County and talk about these two topics together. I absolutely hate how the currency and paychecks work in ERLC. Just recently, I noticed a huge change. Before, all players used to make a consistent $1,200 approximately. I don't remember the exact amount, but that was before being active in the game, meaning that you got approximately $1,200 before robberies, jobs, etc. Now, however, there appears to be a new varying payment system. I tried to pinpoint how the system pays out during the making of this video, but to be honest, I couldn't figure it out. One time I got $741, the other I got $824, and then the next time I got $683. This varying amount continued throughout my 30 minutes of gameplay. What I was able to figure out, however, is that paychecks are issued every 4.5 minutes approximately. At least on a civilian team they are. To put this into perspective, at an average earnings at $749 every 4.5 minutes, you will net just under $10,000 over the course of one real-world hour. And if you've played ERLC for more than 5 minutes, you know that you can very easily spend over $10,000 in less than 30 seconds, and that's before even trying to buy a reasonable car. What this translates into is this: if you had just enough Robux to buy the game and nothing else, you need to commit a significant amount of time to playing the game in order to really earn some money. I've of course put together tips and tricks and shortcuts on how to make money fast, but let's be honest, not all of us are good at robberies. So if you're not good at robberies and left relying on the steady paychecks and hope that one day you'll hack the ATM, you're basically going to be stuck in a vicious circle of never having money in the game. This is due to the cost of items and inability to earn money any other way in the game. I'm not sure if this is done to promote more gameplay or longer gameplay sessions, or to sadly promote buying into the microcurrency, but with the amount of paywalls in the game and just the simple fact that it still costs 45 Robux to even play the game, I am left feeling like you basically need to pay to play. And to once again put this into context, the game is 45 Robux, the machine gun pass is 175, the classic car pass is 90, the police customization pass is 220, the detective pass is 425, the premium housing pass is 145, and the SWAT pass is 740 Robux. In total, that's 1,840 Robux, which means that you will have to spend close to $20.25 American in real life to get the full experience. You guys know that YouTube is not my full-time job, and this marketing and pricing strategy is used widely in business and in retail, with the upfront cost being a fraction of what the lifetime value expectancy of the average player is. Without getting too technical about it, this means that selling you the game for 45 Robux is almost meaningless, because statistically speaking, they know that something like 2/3 of players will buy a minimum of one game pass. So even if you buy the cheapest pass, which is the classic cars pass, you would have already doubled your value as a player. And if you buy the SWAT team game pass, your value as a player is now 16-fold. They are basically banking on the fact that you will be buying game passes. There's nothing wrong with this, and again, this is how trial subscriptions and some membership stores work. This is just the nature of the beast. Do I think there's more take than give? Well, that's a different question, and one that I hope you can guess my answer to. So in the end, YouTubers like me are essentially indirect free marketing. You're welcome, developers. I expect $2 million in-game cash. You have 48 hours. I'm just kidding, you guys. Wow, Zanies, that was a total dive into the top 10 things I don't like about Emergency Response Liberty County. Let me know what grinds your gears and what rubs you the wrong way in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, long live the Zanies.